Hey, it's Martha Mick with Mardi Gras masks. Mardi Gras is coming, and everybody likes a mask. You can use these all year round. Display or, do them with your kids. I don't know how many people really like to wear them, but they're fun. So I have a butterfly mask that I bought, and I'm going to make a little butterfly. Butterflies are symmetrical. I did a little research. I drew a little picture, and I'm going to use these 4 colors: gold, silver, blue, and red. Now, typically Mardi Gras colors are green, purple, and gold. What I'm doing here is first I've wadded up the foil paper because I like to have some texture, and I'm fitting it to match my design, sort of. My design is just a starting place. So I'm cutting out the silver and the gold to match my design. I'm going to edge the entire mask in the blue. So I cut up some strips there, and now I'm trying to cut up some shapes that will fit. And these have to be mirror images. So I'm putting them right sides to right sides, kind of like when you would sew. So here I'm cutting out, and they will match. Well, they'll be mirror images. Now I'm going to wrap the blue around the edge. Now this takes some doing. It's a little fiddly. You have to put in some easement so it goes around all those complex shapes there. So you have to cut some little gores in there. I guess that's what you call them. And that way they wrap around. A little Mod Podge, little glue, and this takes time, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing or you'll fall asleep. So here we go, just a little hint there. And there it's done. It took me a while. And I'm going to put in the rest of the blue to match my design. I always refer to that, but it's a starting point. I'm not aiming for perfection there. So there's my gold and my silver. I see where I need some more blue. So there we go. And it's the Mod Podge deal here, decoupage. And there it is, it's pretty much done. And now I've cut out some blue, those are red circles. And now I've embellished a little bit with some paint, fixing the inside so it looks a lot nicer. You had some green paint there, and now I'm gluing on ribbon. I'm not going to wear this, the ribbon is decorative. But a little glue, little clothespins, and there it is. Looks pretty good. I like it. Now another kind of mask. If you don't have a mask form, you can make your own. So we're going to make these out of cardstock. There's a couple of little blanks, I call them. Now, first we have to, like my model, we have to decide how far the eyes are going to be. I'm going to measure on my skull, but if you have a child you're making this for, measure on their eyes or on an adult. But typically they're about 3 inches for an adult. 3 inches from the pupils to the pupil. I'm going to make a template here, which we can use over and over again. It's a basic form, simple shape there. Just see how I cut it out. Looks like, a Zorro mask, kind of. Remember Zorro? And that's the beginning of it. And now I've got to figure out where to put the eyes. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 inches. So I'm marking that off. It's a little bit less. And I'm drawing my circle. So I'm going to cut that out. Now, cutting circles is difficult, but it's much easier to cut a half circle. So I folded that in half again. Now I'm going to cut that out. And it looks pretty good. Okay, and checking against my model. So now I'm going to trace this onto some cardstock. And there we go. Now you could make your eyes round. Birds have round eyes usually. Or you could make more human-shaped eyes, whatever you like. The human-shaped eyes are much easier to cut out than the round ones are. But with a nice sharp craft knife, you shouldn't have too much trouble. So just giving a quick demo here. Craft knife rocks here. You don't want to do that with scissors, or try to. You'll have to bend your paper. And still looks good there. Okay, now the birds. We have the beak. Now this is a special technique. It's not hard to do, but it's good to know how to do it. Basically, you're just going to make a triangle. So I'm finding the center, and I'm drawing lines to the edges, and now I'm going to cut this out. And we have our basic bird beak shape, but it's got to bend. So what you're going to do is take a fold. That's a bone folder. You could use the pencil, you can use anything to crease the paper, and that encourages it to fold. And there is your little triangle shape. Now you have to cut out a space to accept that little triangle shape. Cut that out of your mask and see how nicely that fits. Now we have to figure out a way to get it to attach, so I just give it a little slit there, fold up the edges, and with some glue, it's going to stick on there very nicely. I'm just, tweaking that so that it fits nicely there. You see that? It's pretty cool. Okay, little glue, and we're good to go. I hope you try this. Do this with your kids, your grandkids, or just do it for fun. It's very relaxing, I find. And that's what this is all about. Now, if you want like an owl or an eagle or some kind of hawk, you need a curved beak, and that is more complicated. What you have to do is this kind of goring again. And you see what we're doing? I'm cutting up some little slits in my basic triangular beak, and now I gently bend it and overlap those pieces. You have to try this. It's really not that difficult. Just takes a little patience. And there it is, all glued together with some Mod Podge on it. Now this is the owl that I'm going to try to. He's my inspiration. So I use my little bird mask, and I decided that those round eyes were a little too big. So I'm going to make smaller eyes. So I cut out some circles, and now it's very hard to cut out a tiny circle. So I came up with this technique. It's not original, I'm sure. But you see what I did? I just cut 8 slits and made a star basically and poked a hole. Now I've covered my mask in paint, and you see that it's going to start to take shape here. Those are my feathers. They're just made out of brown paper. So I just cut them very simply. You don't need any kind of template for this. Just use your scissors. And I'm going to draw a little white line on it, as you see there. And now the edges, I'm just with a Sharpie, I'm embellishing the edges. Look at that. Is he cute or what? Now I have to give I don't know what that part of his nose, that front of his face. And here we go. So go wild. The other mask that you saw, the bird mask, that was inspired by the secretary bird. And this is inspired by an owl. And I had fun making these. I hope you do too. Please join us again at the Patchogue-Medford Library for more crafting fun. Thank you for watching.